Ohio, Genevieve. This is what Ohio looks like. What do you think of that?
I can see why there's big deer here.
You can see why there's big deer here. We had passed a field of soybeans, now a field of corn, rolling topography, right? Looking pretty exciting.
Yep.
Looks like we're wearing our
zombie shirts.
Our zombie shirts, right? We had zombie fun last night shooting zombies. So the cool thing about this trip, we made a bunch of stops. We're doing our best to not get lost. We went from suburban Pittsburgh to this.
Yeah.
So Genevieve, we are in Ohio, the land of giants.
Yep.
Funny thing about Ohio. The funny thing about Ohio is that it is high in the middle and round on both ends.
Can you tell I've heard this about 10 times already?
Why is the state of Ohio different?
Because it's high in the middle and wound on both ends. Ohio! Yuck, 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 yuck.
Oh man, anybody my age grew up thinking, you know that joke, right? We grew up with Bugs Bunny, and Genevieve grew up in a different era where Bugs Bunny, she knows who Bugs Bunny is. I've seen some of it. I made her watch some of it, but it wasn't like she grew up only watching Bugs Bunny like we did. So I hope you appreciate that. I have been waiting years, Genevieve, to do a vlog on a hunt in Ohio so I could use that joke.
That's why we came here.
We can turn around and go home now. All done.
There it is.
Genevieve has a surprise for me. This?
That one, yep.
What am I looking at?
Guess who grew up there?
Canton, Ohio. Who?
Marilyn Manson grew up there.
No way.
In that house.
In that house.
In that house.
How fitting. That is like a perfect Halloween addition to our trip.
We were coming through Canton, so we had to stop and see it.
That's awesome. Thanks, kid.
Yep.
That's a good one.
Now on to our hunting trip.
Got your crossbow.
We made it.
Bunjie Jr. Home sweet home, huh, Genevieve? We made it. We're here. Genevieve's in the camp here. And look at this. It's like next to a cornfield. It's like, you might as well just hunt here. You know what I mean? Putting a few down range there, 30 yards. Put the big shot target out there. We had that in the truck. Brought that with us. And I got to be quiet because I guess I was told by the guide that there is a guy hunting back there on the other side of that. So we don't want to disturb somebody else's hunt. I did shoot a bunch, though, with the Black Widow. That's a little bit loud, you know what I'm saying? But I got the Black Widow set up here. Check out the Bog Death Grip. So I've got the Primos trigger step. Did a video on that if you're interested. Go check it out. But look how this thing, how convenient this is. I sat right here on the porch, using that as my rest. Burt Coyote Luminoc on fire out there, on fire. But I'm sitting right here on the porch, nice comfortable chair. I am told that I'm going to be sitting in a blind, so that is cool. So I'll have that opportunity to shoot off of this tripod. But I've got one leg back here, and this leg is way longer. It goes all the way down to the ground, whereas these two legs are up front. And I've got it nice and stable like this, but I can adjust it because, remember, this is a Primos trigger stick. And I can move it over here if I want. I can position it this way if I want, you know, wherever it'll be balanced. But I can put it wherever I want, and the legs automatically straighten up. Bog Death Grip attached to the top of it, and we've really got something. I can clamp the Ravin in here and hunt out of this tomorrow night. Oh yeah.
Perfect. That's like the most perfect bullseye there ever was.
Better stop there, right?
Yep. I'm done.
All done. This is very much a crossbow-friendly camp.
This is a crossbow camp, pretty much, I get the impression.
Ohio is a crossbow state. And, I mean, this is the camp target, right? So you can shoot your field points.
A Ravin target.
What more do you want? is my first time ever hunting in a box blind. Look at this. This is pretty fancy, huh? We are set up. I'm only 20 yards, 20-yard shot. I was figuring 20, 30 yards, something like that. There's windows all the way around this thing. You don't need them. It's nice to be able to see up in these other areas, but there's brush and I wouldn't be able to shoot anyway. But at least I'll get a feel for deer coming. I do have my black face mask to put on, a black jacket. I brought them. I didn't know if I was hunting out of a blind or a tree stand. I know they do both here. I brought my bog death grip with me, but I don't think I'm going to use it. I think I'm going to film out of this upright window, and then I'm going to shoot out of this lateral window. And before the deer show up, after I get done yapping, I'll open the window and put the crossbow on this ledge and see how that works and make sure that's going to work for me. Listen to this. It's very quiet. I haven't even gotten set up yet. I haven't even decided where to set the tripod. And this doe shows up, so at least I know I can film out of this window. But I have not raised up the Black Widow. I haven't even cocked it yet. I don't have my face mask on. I gotta get on that right now. That was not me that is alerting her. There's something else alerting her. That's not good. It's only 11 o'clock in the morning, 11:10 a.m. I've only been here for 20 minutes. But I'm glad to see that they are coming out midday. She does not seem concerned about this blind, really, and does not seem to care about me talking, but I've got all the windows closed. You gotta be really careful with the floor in these blinds and make sure that you don't make noise on the floor. These windows have tinting on them. So what you're seeing from the outside is not what we're seeing from the inside. I hope no big buck shows up. Can you believe I just said that? I hope a big buck doesn't show up because I'm not ready. I'm gonna gently get the Black Widow over here where I can start cocking it. She definitely heard that. At least I got the Ravin cocked, but man, she was not excited about that one bit. The corn pile is only 22 yards away. I ranged it with my AFR HX 2000 rangefinder, one of the companies that supports this channel, and I really appreciate it. I do like this rangefinder, so it's very handy. It's illuminated. I finally figured it out, so I can keep the illumination right where I want it during the day versus the nighttime. A 30-yard shot, though, would probably be preferable. Like if I set this up, I'd want it at 30 yards. I realize guys want you close because the closer is better, and you have less likelihood of making a bad shot. And that's what they're thinking, and I appreciate that. But by the same token, 30 yards is better for the deer. I write about that in my book, The Death by Bunjie Crossbow Method, right? One of the things that I like about 30 yards is that deer are a little more forgiving. They don't like being 20 yards from a blind as much as they'll tolerate being 30 yards from a blind. And some of the thumping on the ground here, the vibration of me cocking that crossbow, when I slid the trigger box down, that click resonates through the bottom of this blind like a drum, and it sort of echoed. She picked up on that. At 30 yards, she might have tolerated that a lot better. She might not have even heard it, right? And she'd certainly be less worried about the blind at 30 yards. It's exactly what I expected. I didn't dare wait until she left to cock it, though, because I need to have this thing set up in case the buck shows up, because they're not on a schedule, right? here don't have jobs, right? They don't have to be someplace at any specific time like the rest of us. I read about that in my book too. I hope Genevieve's doing good. She did text me and told me she really, really liked her stand. So hopefully she's getting some good video. Hopefully she's safe. Hopefully she's having a good time.
Look how thick this is in here. This is great. Where are we? There we are. Let's get up there.